Thank you so much for coming here. I just wanted to ask you about how we can contribute back to society and give back, because everyone keeps talking about contributing and contribution, but it's really hard for each person to come up, and just want to hear your thoughts on it.
See, when I talk about giving back something to you, that means I have stolen something from you already. Please don't do that. If you don't do the first act, the second act will not be necessary. As a part of this, we have started this conversation in the business world. It's still picking up momentum, but not enough momentum. I'm talking about structuring businesses in such a way that you understand in any transaction, you're talking about sustainable business. Not only ecologically, the business also has to sustain as a business. If any relationship has to sustain, it must be beneficial for both the parties. Whether it's marketplace or marriage, I want you to understand, you're not, but whether it's marketplace or marriage, unless it benefits both the people, this transaction is not going to go for long, isn't it? So to build a business in such a way that always it's beneficial for both the parties, if you do, first I don't have to take it and then at the time of retirement I want to give it back. What is this? This is like the old, even the mafia and Robin Hoods who steal from other people also give it to people because otherwise they cannot survive. So first don't take it and then try to give it back. Why? Why can't our life process itself is useful to everything that we do? Why can't businesses be built in such a way that it's naturally beneficial to everybody? And if you make this happen, if you today a lot of impact businesses are coming which are all thinking on these terms. It is still not large enough as it should be, but it's beginning to happen. As a part of this, right now one of the biggest problems we need to address in the world in the next few years is going to be migration. It's estimated nearly 1.5 billion people will migrate in the next 5 to 10 years' time. When 1.5 billion people start moving, not one wall, people will try to build walls everywhere. And wall is a solution only till the tide is of a certain level. When the tide increases, it'll fall over the wall. It will. I'm not just talking about one country, I'm saying everywhere. So what is the solution for this? The problem is just this, right now, nearly 80% of the world's investment is probably in approximately 25 to 30 cities on the planet. This needs to spread. If investment has to spread, who will risk spreading their investment to a place which is harder to do business? You have to create a fund which will allow a little more easy money. If you want easy money, you must invest it in impoverished societies. So we are looking at this in a big way, trying to work with the United Nations and the large businesses and to set up a trust where businesses will be given soft loans for long gestation period, 12–15 years, so that you have time to go there, train the people, create talent and create a business and create livelihood there so that people don't have to go away. What kind of business? Well, businesses can decide what kind depending on the terrain, people, the nature of everything else that is their ecosystem. But if we don't do this now, that if we don't spread the world's investment into various areas, you will see when one segment of population is living with so much comfort and well-being, another segment has nothing, you cannot control it. All these years you controlled it because there was no transportation, you understand? Now everybody has transportation. One way or the other they will come in. One way or the other they will come in. It doesn't matter what kind of barriers you put up, in the next 10 years' time, they will come anyway unless you put investments in various places and create livelihoods. The businesses have to be structured like this. Young people who are studying business, you must think of solving world's problems rather than just thinking of some fanciful ambition. Your ambition, whatever it is, I want you to understand this. You will realize this as you go with your life, but if you realize early, it's better. In terms of activity, whatever activity we perform in the world, how deeply we touch another life is the most profound satisfaction of activity. That's the purpose of activity, really. Do you want to write a book? that nobody wants to read? No. Do you want to cook something that nobody wants to eat? Do you want to build a building where nobody wants to live? When you do something, you want it to touch somebody's life. So if this is the thing, the young people who are going into business, you must think on these terms. How to impact maximum number of lives and where can we do it? If we don't create this opportunity and allow migrations to happen, you will see terrible things happening when people migrate. So you must understand this. Right now, between Africa and United States, at Spain, Italy, all these places, every year thousands of people are drowning in the waters. They are not reported. Media will not report that. Nobody wants to report that because they're unwanted people. But some deaths will be reported. Deaths are reported. Is anybody capable of reporting the human suffering of leaving their homeland, dragging their women and children and going somewhere? That suffering, can anybody report ever, I'm asking? Is death the only thing that matters? Human suffering matters, isn't it? Human suffering cannot be reported by news media. Only if deaths happen, they will say 100 people died, 200 people died, but that is not the real thing. Those thousands of people who left their homelands where they have lived forever and coming and desperately looking here and there, losing their wives and children and husbands and searching here and there, this is not a small thing. This is going to scale up in a tremendous way if we don't spread investment, if we don't spread businesses into societies which are stuck in poverty right now.